To both the gospel and the life of Bill Moore. First, we'll have Fran share a little bit, and then if anyone else wishes to share a remembrance or a story of Bill, that would be the appropriate time to do so. Fran, you can stay where you are. I'll come to you.
This is about my brother Bill. Everyone who knew Bill knew him as an all-American patriotic man who took great pride in raising the flag. Besides serving proudly for 6 years in the Navy, he beamed at installing a flagpole in front of his house. Raising the flag daily was such a great feeling for him. Bill's happiest moment was marrying Helen on June 16, 1945. Helen in her beautiful white gown and he in his navy blues. Together they traveled often to their favorite spot in Cape Cod. Many wonderful days were spent on its peaceful beaches and many wonderful memories were made there. To describe Bill as a person, one would have to say he was a strong, tough, pull-no-punches type of guy who loved John Wayne, his country, his wife, and his family, but not quite in that order. His wife, Helen, and his family were on top of the list. Bill said once that Dad was his inspiration. Love God, love your family, and work hard. Be afraid of nothing and no one. And Bill did just that. He taught his many trades to anyone willing to learn them. Bill was a master mechanic and plumber. What few people didn't know about Bill is that he was also a very talented artist who always helped Helen in her tedious projects. Bill was a loving husband, brother and uncle, and now he's getting his reward in heaven. Rest in peace, Bill.
Thank you, Fran. If there are others that would like to share, simply raise your hand so I can see that you'd like to share, and I'll bring the microphone to you.
Good morning. I'm a neighbor of Bill and Helen, and I just wanted to say that he was a great Christian man. Every night for many, many years, he used to drag a dinner across the street to a neighbor who couldn't get out. And they did it for many years. Helen would make it, even if it was a sandwich, and he would bring it across the street, and everybody knew that he did it. Yesterday when I saw one of the neighbors that lived on the other side of the street, on the other block, I had mentioned that he had passed, and he said, oh, that's the neighbor that used to bring the dinner across the street to the other neighbor. So we know that he has a mansion in heaven with God now. Thank you, Bill, for everything you did.
A man who was known for his service to those in his community. Are there others that would like to share? Any others? All right. Just one thing I want to share. This is from Carmen. For as long as we can remember, there was always Bill Moore in our lives. Even though we were not blood related, we were as close as brother and sisters could be. In his own way, he quietly looked out for us and for our parents as well. Both Bill and Helen shared in all our memorable events. They were right there as we were married and had our children. They were with us as our families grew and enjoyed all the good times and suffered with us in bad times. Bill was so proud of being a Navy man and loved sharing stories of those days. But the single greatest love of his life was his Helen. Theirs is a true and lasting love story that spanned over 67 years. They've always been an inspiration to us, and it was never more evident than during these last difficult weeks when their devotion seemed to grow stronger. There were two hearts, but they beat as one. They shared everything, including the same middle initial, A. She in Helen A. Moore, and he William A. Moore, H-A-M and W-A-M. This made them affectionately refer to each other as Ham and Wham. We all have wonderful memories of special times with Bill, and we should think of them often. As we looked at the photo gallery and snapshots showing a beaming Bill, it's hard to imagine our world without him. We have to remember that he was a fighter to the end, and he fought a valiant battle. As much as he wanted to stay with his Helen, his earthly time was up, and our Creator called him home, where there is no suffering. Rest in peace, dearest Bill.